Hello and welcome to day 46 of 90 Days in Numbers, and today I wanted to work out how, based on our weighting, how different assessments would add up depending on how much of an assessment final product that they had for their weighting. So for example, if they've done 5 assessments and each are worth 20%, what that would be. So we've got an if expression for this. So we've clicked on a cell and we've gone for a formula. We started with if because that's how we're starting with. If all of this happens, then we want an outcome. We started with count with an A on the end, counter, and this basically is only going to give us an answer if the box that I've put that in, which is A4 for this one, has something in it. So counter basically counts up items if it's got something in it. And if it doesn't have, and it counts up anything that's in it, so whether it be a value or a phrase or information. And I'll show you how that works a bit later on. Then we're going to round up because we only want this to 2 decimal places. So we're going to round something. So we put the word round in there. And then we're doing a sum product because we're going to do a sum of the products that I'm going to put in there. So the sum product range, the first range we're going to be looking at is our percentages. So the percentages for each assessment we're going to put in. So that's basically how much a student gets on each of the tests. And our second range that we're going to compare it to is the range that each of those percentages would be for those assessments. So 1 assessment out of 5 for the 100% would be worth 20% of that total. The 2 that we've put in there after the brackets is how much we want to round it to. So we're rounding it to 2 places. That's not 2 decimal places, that's 2 numbers. So we're going to round it up to a whole percentage. And then we've just got the value in the last bit. What it basically ends up with, that formula, if you type it in as we've got there, is, like I say, you've got the weighted percentage at the end. So, for example, if we type in 5 different amounts that a pupil had got for each of those assessments, it will give us an overall weighting for that, an overall amount that they've got for that. So this would be really useful if you've got different assessments that a pupil might do for a mock exam or something like that, and each has a different weighting, a different amount that it's worth for the final product. Then that would you'd be able to work that out really easily if you put in the different percentages per each assessment or each exam, and then you can get a final answer, a final overall percentage for all of those assessments. So once again, you can just see me putting in that formula again, and you can copy this, you can add in columns, you can change the different percentages at the top as well, so it would depend on how much percentage each of your assessments was worth. But it's really useful because it does then allow us to look at different assessments and how they add up and give us one overall percentage. So it's really useful for lots of different things like that. It's mostly going to be used in a grade book. I mean, you might use it in lessons when you're teaching about different fractions, I suppose, or different amounts that would add up to the 100%. So that can be useful. But it's just another way of adding to the grade book. Once I'm finished with the grade book, I'm going to add a few more bits in over the next few days, and then I'll make this grade book available to everyone so that you can have it, so that you can then add to it and fiddle about with it and try and learn from it as well. And we'll add a few more bits in that we've seen that I've been looking at so far. So hopefully it's useful, hopefully it makes sense, and hopefully you can use it and it's useful. Join me tomorrow. I'll be looking at that final grade as well again, and I'm trying to work out how to average letters gradings at the moment. So hopefully I'll have an answer for that. So if you're giving them A, B, C, D over different assessments, you'll be able to find out an average based on a grade as well.